Thanks for stopping by the channel. I spent a bunch of time demoing the upper deck of the layout because as part of the reimagining of the layout, it's going to allow for continuous operations. I finalized my track plan. It's pretty minimalistic, but I think that makes it more prototypical. And then what I'm going to work on in the second half of this video is I'm going to get going with the sub roadbed construction and installation. So this is kind of where we left off at the end of the last video with the bench work running through the back of this closet. I've started with the sub road bed here. I'm just using 7/16 OSB and then some of that furring strip that I had left over as the risers. This will be a pretty economical way to do that. But I'm going to spin around here. You can see I've got most of the upper deck demoed. I'm going to try to leave the backdrop in place because most of this is going to have rock work and big pine trees. So I don't think that you're going to see much of any of it anyways. So I don't want to waste a bunch of time and energy on something that's probably not even going to matter by the time all is said and done. I got the lighting pulled out on this half because it was connected to the lower half, so I'll have to redo that. But you can see I got most of the demo work done. So in the past, I've just used a layer of 2-inch foam as a scenery base. But since I'm modeling the Columbia River Gorge between Oregon State and Washington State, if you look at that at all, everything's real vertical. And we're going to be viewing the whole layout from the perspective of being in the Columbia River. So I wanted to try something different. So I'm using 7/16 OSB for my sub road bed. I'm using some of these furring strips for my risers. And I'm going to try to set the sub road bed about 2.5 inches above the bench work. This will allow me to really run really high vertical type of scenery behind the track and in front of the track, which I think will really sell the effect that I'm going for. Okay, so here's the track plan that I came up with. Again, this is the BNSF track rights along the north side of the Columbia River in the Columbia River Gorge between Washington State and Oregon State. So the red is the main line. I got a blue is to represent the passing siding here, and a turnout for some staging. This is supposed to represent the Wistrom yard, kind of, sorta. It's much smaller here than what's in real life. There's lots of tunnels down towards Vancouver and Portland. I tried to add several of those. Here's the door that comes into my train room. I still haven't decided how I'm going to tackle this, whether I'm going to go with a swing gate, a drop down gate, a lift out, but I will get that figured out. I do plan on adding a plate girder bridge here. Yeah, I think it'll go with the rock work. I'm going to do some sort of kind of scene here with a couple of bridges and a waterfall or a river kind of flowing underneath like a tributary, because the whole model should be based off of the point of view of being in the Columbia River. All right, so I got some more of the sub road bed mocked up. I'm gonna swing around here. Let me stop right here. I'll show you the track plan. You can see that's that area down here where we start coming into the yard. I'm gonna swing again. This is the yard area here. I'm going to go a little bit further. That's where we're coming out of the yard, right in here. And I'm going to swing around. And this is that 24-inch radius up here on this corner of the layout. And I just used a string line. I set a screw, used a string line. I came out 23 and 25. I marked lines, and I just used my jigsaw to cut the sub road bed for these big radius, these big sweeping radius corners. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get my laser level out, and I'm going to get all this set to a constant elevation. I don't want any variations in the grade on the main line here. I just want it nice and smooth. I'm looking for reliability on these the trains running up on this upper loop. All right, guys, I'm going to kill the lights here just so you can see that laser. As you can see, the sub road bed, I got it all screwed down. I pre-drilled all of my holes. Just used some 1 5/8 wood screws. A lot of them are ones that I salvaged from the demo work from the previous layout. But you can see I got a little work to do here, but this is floating right now. So okay, so that's about going to wrap up this video. I'm going to keep plugging away on getting the sub road bed in on the other half of the layout, but I'm going to use the same product, same technique. I hope to have this all done by the time we get the next video out, and we should be putting some track down and getting into the wiring and running the new lighting. So I'm looking forward to that. But thanks for watching, guys. Happy railroading.